Hello everyone, Studlord here with my top LEGO deal picks of the week for the UK, USA, EU and Canada. Timestamps in the description below, but now let's dive in. We'll kick things off this week in the EU and a start out mention for Amazon. They've got the usual small little savings off certain sets, but one of my favourites in the Dreams lineup, newly released this year, was the Tower of the Sandman, and this is a nice little saving to be grabbing off of it. At the moment, it's definitely one of the prettier looking sets. Then, I don't know about pretty, but we have the Minecraft Legends Showdown with the Devourer. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not a big one for Minecraft, however, this is definitely one of the cooler looking sets, and a nice little saving to be had off of that as well. And then the last one for Amazon, friends can make for some really good gifts for young LEGO fans. Unfortunately, they're often very overpriced. That goes for the Farm Animal Clinic and the Farm Animals Collection. Both of these quite good fun to play with, but unfortunately overpriced. Thankfully, there are some nice savings to be had off of those at the moment. Makes them a lot more palatable, and at this sort of price, I would suggest picking them up. They'll make a good gift that I imagine will be appreciated. Moving on from Amazon though, let's head over to JB Spielwaren, where we have the Space Minifigures Series 26 available for pre-order at a slight discount. Now, obviously these are just the random boxes. If you're wanting to get a full set for sure, then you're going to have to look elsewhere. Be interesting to see if the whole barcode thing works as well going forwards if you're picking them up in store, but there are places you can order them online if you want the full set. For now though, if you're happy to take a little bit of a punt and go random, then pre-ordering at a discount is certainly a good thing. Also on JP Spielwaren, we have the ability to pre-order the new Inside Out 2 Mood Cubes, which I have to say I am rather disappointed with. I think that they could have been done quite a bit better than this. I mean, this is supposedly a 9+ set. To be honest, it's little better than Duplo. It's really, really juniorized. I think they could have done it a lot better. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. That said, nice discount to have already on a set that's not even out yet. Same can be said for the new buildable Gru. I am looking forward to that one. It looks slightly odd, but again, it might look a little bit better once it's actually built. That has been the case with some of the buildable figures in the past. So once again, about €9 off. That is a good deal to bag. And it doesn't end there, because you can also get a discount with pre-orders off of the new Star Wars set, Grogu's Bark Speeder Escape. Mixed opinions on this one. Again, a little bit overpriced, I think, at retail. This is a lot more like it. Better to grab it while you can at that. And then, of course, we've got that very impressive Mercedes with a pretty impressive discount to go along with it as well. So they've got a good range of savings to be had at the moment there. Alternatively, over on Bricks Direct, you've got a little buildable Stitch, my absolute favourite out of all the buildable characters that they've done so far. I'm quite happy to recommend this at full price. I think it's a fantastic set. But at a discount, well, it's even better. So you should definitely go and pick that one up. Then they've also got a discount off of most of the Harry Potter sets. The biggest one, of course, being the Talking Sorting Hat. And likewise off of the new little R2-D2, 15% off of that one, and a couple of the other sets as well, including the Tantive 4, which despite its flaws, I would give a solid 8 out of 10. I think it's a decent little set. What I much prefer though is the McLaren MP44. Brilliant one this, and with over €10 off. You shouldn't delay, grab this set, it's absolutely fantastic. Now, over on Intertoys, they've still got the usual discounts off of those new Harry Potter sets as well, and also the Star Wars sets. So although the likes of R2 and the Tantive are slightly cheaper at the moment on Bricks Direct, you can also grab them over on Intertoys along with the other sets as well, things like the Boarding Hallway, etc, etc. But the big one, of course, for Star Wars is the AT-AT, and I want to give it a shout out again. They increased the discount now, €125 off of this set. Still jolly expensive, but of course, it is certainly better than paying full price. So if you can afford it, now is a good time to obviously do so. All that said and done, let's pop on over to the UK. So, kicking things off, let's have a look at John Lewis as normal. Now, the savings available have been dramatically reduced. We had it good for a couple of weeks now. That said, some of those good sets are still available at a 20% discount. So if you have missed out so far, what have you been doing? Head on over there and grab it. Just be slightly wary, because although there are some good deals still to be had on here, some of them can be better elsewhere. For example, this one just here, the Technic BMW. I'm a fan. I like bikes, I like Technic. This is certainly a cool piece. However, although it's a good saving, 20% off at £172, it's actually better at the moment over at Smith's Toys, just £162. So better to grab it from there if you did want it, and that goes for a couple of the other ones on there as well. Now, speaking of Smith's Toys, before we go any further, just want to give a shout out. Next Saturday, not tomorrow, but Saturday after, so 13th of April, if you are in the UK, pop on into a Smith's Toys store. Oh, try saying that quite quickly. Smith's Toy Store, Smith's Toy Store, Smith's Toy Store. It's like red lorry, yellow lorry. Anyway, pop on in and you can grab a free micro build for Harry Potter, Friends or Animal Crossing. Sounds like quite a good one to do with the kids. Obviously nice to get some free Lego as well. Just bear in mind though that this is one giveaway per child. So unfortunately for you AFOLs out there, you can't just go in and grab this yourself. You're going to have to take a child in with you. Preferably your own child. I wouldn't recommend just grabbing a random one and taking it in order to try and get some free Lego. That could lead you into some legal difficulties. But otherwise, keep that in mind. Now, still some discounts off of sets that we've looked at over the past couple of weeks on Smiths. Others have disappeared, but one that I wanted to give a shout out to was our fire station and fire engine set here. Obviously, this came out just in January of this year, and it was definitely one of the better ones for the city lineup. Offers a lot more playability. That said, the building itself was a little bit sparse when it came to the actual details, and it just felt a little bit overpriced. Well, a fair bit overpriced, to be honest, at retail. So grabbing it at this sort of price, though, that is a lot better. And I think that this is a sizable set that could give a good amount of fun and obviously look good in a city setup as well. Now, they've also got a nice little discount off of the Kingfisher. This was a nice icon set that everybody was really keen on when it was first coming out, and then it sort of faded into the background. The thing is, of course, the problem with the hype at the beginning is you're having to pay full price. Well, here we are, just a few weeks down the line, and you can grab a nice little discount off of what is a very pretty set. Looks a lot better in person than it does in the pictures. So that's a nice one to go and pick up as well if you haven't already. And then they've got a bunch of discounts off the different Friends sets. I think the best one probably is this, the Heart Lake City Shopping Mall set. I'm not a big fan when it comes to Friends. I don't like mini dolls personally. No offense to those who do. It's okay if you're a weirdo. Anyway, I don't like it when they're too colored, have too many clashing colors. This one I think looks really nice. Very pretty set, good size. Obviously a fantastic amount of detail, great play. I think it would look good in a city setup as well. As usual, they tend to be slightly higher priced, makes it a bit more difficult, but this is a nice saving. Very good price for this set. I honestly wouldn't bat an eyelid at this one. Better than getting your head stuck in a beehive, that is for certain. I think it's a pretty set and one that you should strongly consider. Then over at Game, still got most of the discounts that we've already spoken about over the past couple of weeks, including off of those main sets. So you should absolutely go and take a look at that. All the Space, Harry Potter, Star Wars, etc. They are on offer there. A couple of new ones to give a shout out to, though, of course, being the ones just released. So the construction figures, not a fan personally, but there will be some listening who are, and I do think these could become quite collectible. So nice discount to be had off of the Green Goblin at the moment, and also the Iron Spidey. If you haven't seen my videos before, this Fraser's Plus Total thing, basically, yes, it's a kind of credit. However, it should give you a 0% pay in 3 option. So if you do that, obviously it's great because you pick it up at this low price. Don't do it if for any reason that doesn't show up. You don't want to be obviously paying interest on this. That would be stupid. So those are 2 new ones on there. Otherwise, they've also put a discount now on the Ninjago Dragonstone Shrine. This was probably my favourite out of the recent Ninjago wave. It's just such a pretty set. Still slightly pricey when you're looking at it full retail. So this sort of price, that is a whole lot better. It's actually very good value when you start looking at it for that sort of amount. Beautiful set. I think it's absolutely great. But then I've saved the best for last, in my opinion anyway. It is, of course, the Lego Icons Eldorado Fortress. Yes, the pirate set. Please, Lego, bring us more pirates. So currently have this on offer. You're saving almost £40 off of it, which is very good considering that this one is going to be retiring. Should be by the end of the year, might slip into next year. It keeps sort of changing around. But either way, it's not going to be around for that much longer. So get it while you can, especially at a saving. With that said and done, let us now head on over to the USA. Right then, American friends, let's start with Amazon, and kind of hard to pick things out this week because there's little discounts off of lots of different sets. Wide amount of discounted ones on Amazon off of the City range. Now, I do like the Mobile Crime Lab truck. I think it looks good. Fits in quite nicely with a City setup if you've got one, and of course it's just good fun to play with. Nice little quad there as a side build as well. So 20% off, pretty decent. Obviously much better than at full retail. And same for the likes of this, obviously. Just a quick mention, it's a very small build. It's one you'd be getting as a gift new to the space range. Now, that said, you don't really want to be paying full retail for this. I know it's only $11, but price per piece is absolutely terrible when you look at it like that for what is a very small gift. You know, it's not going to get a huge amount of play. So getting it now, 30% off. If you're doing an Amazon order, you know, bundle it in with something else. Don't sniff at it at that sort of price. That becomes worthwhile doing. Then you've also got a bunch of discounts off of some of the Ninjago sets as well. I've got to say, I think my favourite out of this would be this one. I think the dragon is pretty dang cool, actually, on this. Like the cloth wings. In fact, I just like everything that they've done about this one. Now, again, it's quite pricey. You tend to get hit pretty hard when it comes to Ninjago for some reason over there. So $70, the retail price, it just isn't good. It's not really worth it. Now, though, 20% off, much more like it. This should have really been the actual retail on this set to begin with, to be perfectly frank. So now that you can pick it up for this, I would definitely do so. If you're a fan of dragons or Ninjago, of course, it's just a very good looking thing, hence me picking it out. But they do have the majority of other recent Ninjago sets discounted on here as well. So if you prefer one of the others, go and take a look. They may well have it on there. And then likewise, a little discount off of the buildable rocket on Amazon as well. Obviously, if you are happy to wait, you're going to see bigger and bigger discounts coming off of this, just like we did with the buildable Groot. But if you're wanting to get it sooner rather than later, this is much more like it, and it is a good set. I do like that one. Then over at Walmart, again, a few of the Speed Champion sets with a bit of a discount off as well. And I do like this pair of McLarens. I think that they look pretty good. I don't collect all of the Speed Champions range. I know that obviously some of you will. I prefer just to pick and choose, and I like these ones. I think they really do look the part. They're good fun to have. So nice to see a little discount off of that one. Something that's more substantial though, and definitely one of my favourites, is of course the Back to the Future time machine. Great Scott, Marty. $37 off of that. I just think it's a great set. The fact that you can build it as either of the versions of the DeLorean from movies 1, 2 or 3. Sadly not into the train, but you know, that's another story. Still a really cool item to have. Then over on Best Buy, I've got to be honest, a lot of the big sets that we looked at over the past couple of weeks that were on some pretty decent discounts have now disappeared. Things like your Disney Princess Castle. That is the way it goes, of course. They don't hang around forever. That said, they've still got a reasonable range still available, including a lot of the just little sets. Again, the sort of things that you might want to pick up as stocking fillers for later on in the year or birthdays, that sort of thing, especially for some of the new sets that have only just come out this year. So none particularly to give a shout out to that we haven't covered before, but just generally have a little look through, as there are some nice ones in there. And exactly the same has to be said for Barnes & Noble. They have a clearance sale on at the moment, and to be honest, there's nothing outstanding that I want to give a shout out to. It's a little bit poor on the ground this week as I'm filming this. Obviously, if you find anything bigger during the week, please post in the comments below. Help your fellow viewers out. That said, there are some nice little sets to be had in here that they do have around 30% off of across the board. So could well be some in there that you have seen and not picked up yet. Things like this one from Jurassic World, it's just overpriced, quite frankly, at retail. That is a lot more reasonable, that sort of pricing there. And plenty of the ones on here for kids that would make good gifts, usually overpriced at retail, become a lot more reasonable at this sort of rate. So just have a little look through. Back though to specifics, and over at Macy's, they have a nice saving off of some of the Ninjago sets at the moment. So Jay's Titan mech there is definitely one of the better ones. Looks pretty cool, nice amount of colours, decent size and a good amount of playability. That is a much more reasonable price for that one. I've got to say though, I think I prefer Sora's transforming mech bike racer. It's just so cool that it does transform and offers different playability options. I think it's going to give kids a lot more fun using this. And whilst I'm saying kids, this is one of those ones, I think it looks pretty good. nice colours. If you collect Ninjago, this is definitely going to look like one of the nicer ones to have on display and have fun with yourself as well. So again, much better at this sort of pricing. And the other one that I've picked out from Ninjago, just my own preference, again, look through, there's plenty of others on here, also discounted. It has to be this, the Lava Dragon. I think it's pretty cool looking. The problem is that at retail, it's just simply not worth it. It is overpriced for yourselves over there, as sadly Ninjago often seems to be. We get it so much cheaper over here in the UK and also in Europe. I don't know why. But anyway, this is now much more the sort of price to be picking this up at, and it's a good looking set for this sort of pricing. So that's it for this week on America. Lots of your smaller sets that you can get at a nice bit of a discount, anywhere from sort of 20 to 30% off. No big sets this week. Bit of a quieter one. We'll see what there is next week. And of course, if you find anything in the meantime, post in the comments below. Now though, let's head on over to Canada. Starting again on Amazon, 26% off of the new City Police Speedboat and Crooks Hideout set. Definitely one of the better ones from this wave, in my opinion. And this is a much better price to be picking it up at. Super little one for that. I wouldn't say no. Likewise for some of the space sets, I mean things like this, your City Command Rover, I think it's overpriced, quite frankly, at retail. Yes, it's a fun set, has some nice parts in it, obviously good amount of tyres, etc. Usually it's just too high. This makes it a bit more accessible for people to actually be able to buy as a gift or for yourselves. So it's good to see that they have that discounted. And exactly the same goes for the Space Base and Rocket Launch Pad. I actually think this one is better. Certainly you get a lot more value for money on this one, even at retail price. So now discounted, definitely one to consider. Probably my favourite, to be honest, out of the recent space wave that they've released for City. Looks the best on display and obviously gives the best play options as well. Now over at Toys R Us, you've got a bunch of Space and Friends sets currently on sale, making for some pretty nice savings. Now, we looked at this just earlier in the video in another region. The Heart Lake City Shopping Mall, really nice set. So is Ollie and Paisley's family houses. These actually look really nice. They don't look too out of place in a city setup, even if Friends isn't normally a thing. So well worth considering. And then, of course, we've got a couple of those space sets on sale at the moment as well. And also Disney too. So just have a look through there, see if there's any that you want to pick up for yourself or as a gift. Some good pricing to be had. That said, some actual ones to give a shout out to over on Indigo. The X-Men jet, let's be honest, it was a bit flawed. It's still a nice thing to have. You know, I'm glad they did it. I just wish they'd done it better. That said, just horrendously overpriced at retail. Absolutely ridiculous for this set. Don't go anywhere near it at full price. This is a nice saving though. This is really what this should have been priced at. Straight out of the bleachers, to be fair. So definitely one to consider now for that sort of pricing. A quick shout again for Chewbacca. They've now got this on offer. What is that, $65 off? I know this came in for a lot of stick. I don't particularly like the look of it either, but it's not terrible. Again, one that looks better in person. Just don't touch it too much or else bits start falling off of it. But considering that we've just had the new R2 and we're obviously getting C-3PO later in the year, I think this is going to start to look a lot better alongside those. So they're retiring early because of how badly it did, hence we're getting quite some good discounts on it. Now is the time to have a look. Bear in mind it's out of stock online, so you are going to have to go through and have a look if there's a store near you. I've been through, there are some stores with stock, but obviously I don't know where you live, so you'll have to see if one of them is close to you. Exactly the same goes for the Mighty Bowser, which has got basically $100 off of it as well. Fantastic set. You can really change the expressions on this. The marketing was pretty poor. It does so much more than what they've made it look like it actually does in these pictures. Fantastic set. Check out the store stock, see if there's one that has it near you. You've then also got a nice saving off of the Dreams Sandman's Tower. Mentioned this earlier in the video. Such a pretty looking set. I think my favourite out of the Dreams ones. It just looks great. And there's some really nice coloured parts that you don't see in many other places available in this set. You can do so much with it. It's really cool. This one is in stock and obviously gets free shipping, being over $35 if you're wanting to order it online. Otherwise, again, check out store stock near you. Not in stock online, but again, in some stores that I've been through, you have the R2-D2. This is, of course, the UCS version, probably discounted now because we've had that smaller one that's come out. Really don't know how I feel about this one anymore. I do have it. I'm not even sure if I'm going to build it anymore or whether I'm just going to get the smaller one they've brought out. It does look pretty good. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below on that one. And then lastly, they've got some discounts off a couple of the space sets as well. My favourite probably being our modular space station here. You know, I think this is overpriced again at full retail, but this is much more reasonable. But just have a look through, see if there's any of the others that you prefer. I think for me, out of the ones on sale at the moment, this one will be the pick of the bunch. But there we go. That is it for this week. Thank you very much for watching. Please consider liking, subscribing, all that jazz. Join the channel as a member and get commenting below. Thanks again. See ya on the next one.